Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. The time has officially come. It is race week. Oh my god. The last 12 weeks have been leading up to all of this, so we're going to try to speed run the few days leading up to it because I know everyone's really here simply for race day. Really quickly though, before we get into actual race week, I didn't post anything last week, and honestly that's really not anything to do with my shins bothering me. They were okay, like I had like a few moments here and there, but it was a lot more of like a mental struggle I was having because I wasn't able to run, and it was just kind of like messing me up a little bit. And honestly, I don't want to relive those last 2 weeks, but I don't want to pretend that like this training plan, like the only issue that I had in it was simply physical issues. Like there was definitely some times where like mentally I was a little bit like, ooh, but I just wanted to mention that. And now we can get into race week. I started this week off a little bit nervous because we skipped Monday, and to me that just kind of always feels like we're jinxing ourselves and setting ourselves up for a bad week. But primarily we did that because my mom's knee was really bothering her this day, and she's like, I don't want to push it and make it that I can't run on race day. And also I had this like weird pain in the back of my leg, which I usually get when the lady in red is visiting me, but she wasn't expected for a little bit longer. So I was like, okay, maybe it's like an actual like injury or something. I don't know, but let's not push it so we don't give ourselves any more injuries. Like, well, the race is in a few days. For Tuesday, I followed what I've been doing for the last few weeks, which has been taking my easy runs and making them into like a fast walk. I did that because I know my shins feel fine when I walk, but I didn't want to push them and do too much running before the race, just in case it caused something to flare up. Not only is the treadmill broken now, but oh, there you can see it, a leak. The air conditioning has been leaking on the treadmill. We're gonna lose the treadmill, and they're never gonna put the air back on in this gym once they find this out. So, shh, Pretty Little Liar style, got a secret. Y'all better keep it for us. I also really want to use this easy run as an opportunity to like figure out what music I want to listen to for race day, because I really don't listen to music when I run. Like the only time I do is when we do our intervals because we're inside on the treadmill. So I was trying to figure out what I would want to listen to on race day, and I'm kind of glad I did because the playlist I made definitely needed a few tweaks. On Wednesday we had intervals. Now the past 2 weeks that I didn't show you guys, I was typically doing intervals like walking on an incline, but I did want to see how my legs felt just in general with running, so I figured the perfect interval set to do was 30 seconds of running, 90 seconds of walking, and luckily we had no shin flare-ups, which made me feel really good because I feel like if I was going to have them, it was going to happen with these. And now for my post-run snack, someone left me some blue corn tortilla chips, and in case you're wondering, there is some left in there. Ooh, just dropped sweat on the floor. Oopsie. Now, if you've been following since the beginning of the 5K training, you know typically with my intervals I do legs. But for me, my leg day is like a 50-50. Sometimes I'll come out of it and I'll be like super sore. Sometimes I won't be sore at all. But I figured, hey, let's not risk it and have this be the week that I feel super sore when, you know, we're gonna have to be running in a few days. Plus, I haven't really shown it, but almost every day this week, I pretty much do my recovery routine, which is basically like a mini leg day. So I felt like I was kind of in the end gonna do like one normal size leg day, I guess. So because we took Monday off, we ended up having to run on Thursday. Originally, we were gonna have a day off on Wednesday, but I kind of felt fine running 3 days in a row because we're not really running. It was more of a lot of fast walking. Also, remember how I said on Monday I had that weird pain in my leg, and that usually is like the lady in red? Yeah, no, it was just, I guess it was more foreshadowing that she's coming. Here she is, and she's here. She wanted to be here for race day to cheer us on. We are off to get our packets, and we're also gonna get something a little special from Walgreens. Hair's really sticking out like kooky looky today because I got this hat on tight. So we'll see a packet pickup. Look at me, I'll go right. All right, bibs collected. We got our little thing from Walgreens also. Then I had to carry up 35 pounds of cat litter and a whole huge box from Chewy.
That box is probably like
Another 20 pounds. I probably just carried like 50 pounds around this whole apartment building. And we did like a little over a mile in walking, so that's pretty good. Oh yeah, good. She took the pizza out. We're having pizza tonight. We've been having variations of every way you could have pizza, but without having actual genuine pizza the last few weeks. So we're actually having pizza tonight. I think I'm just gonna relax. I was gonna do my push and pull day today. I think I'd rather just fully relax. And then if I feel good on Sunday, maybe I'll do it. I'm not holding myself to it. Right now, let my pizza defrost and enjoy that. And tomorrow's it. Good morning, everybody. It is 6:40. I woke up 10 minutes ago, and honestly, I was gonna try to wait till later because it doesn't start till like 8:30. But I'm kind of hungry now, so I figured let's do that. I'm gonna eat homemade bagels. I was gonna cut it up, maybe put a little butter on it. I figured I don't really want to do that. I just warmed up in my face. My cats are pissed now that I didn't.
I'll put butter on mine, guys.
So yeah, I'm gonna eat this now just because it's a little bit heavier. And then I know it's like 2 hours till the race, but I figure worst case scenario, I'll have some graham crackers before because I know they sit fine in my stomach. I just feel like the heavier thing.
Slow to it may go a little.
Yeah, I feel like the heavier thing I want to put in now because I want to get it out. You know. So that's the plan. We're gonna relax. I went and got my massage gun because my legs feel restless, and I think that's the lady in red. She's a witch.
What do you think my little outfit? Because I think it looks cold.
Yeah, I was gonna wear this other shirt, but I think I'm gonna wear one of my St. Jude shirts because I was gonna wear this like white crop top flowy little bit. I think it's gonna be too cold. It's raining. It's already raining. This is what we've been preparing. Remember when I started this and I said, oh, the rain. I have to go out and train the rain. The race is going to be rain or shine. I knew what was coming for me. I must have known. I'm gonna go just I'm gonna top off my watch with charging. I think it's pretty good, but I'm gonna just do that. Keep my phone charged. I'll see you in a little. All right, it's time. We're headed over. I wore my St. Jude shirt. All right. I'll see you. All right, let's break down this race mile by mile. For me, I always feel a little unsure of like where I should be starting in these races. Like I don't want to be all the way in the back because I know I'm not going to be walking, but I don't want to be in the front because I know I'm like not the fastest and I feel like it's usually in that order. So we always kind of land somewhere in the middle, but I feel like we definitely need to be a little bit more upper middle. Like we kind of put ourselves like right before like everybody with like joggers and strollers and stuff because we're like, okay, they're probably gonna primarily walk or something, but I feel like we should have been a little bit closer to the front. I feel like for the first few minutes of the race we were going a little bit slower than we had intended to, simply because we were trying to bob and weave and like we were trying not to lose each other, my mom and I, because we were pacing each other. So I didn't want to like get too far ahead of her or they're like fall too far behind her. I also think this is probably the most anxious I was during the race, simply because I got there and I realized like, oh my God, there's so many people here, like a lot. Like I think I've just gotten so used to running with just like my mom and I that I forget like, no, there's like hundreds of people here. And it definitely was a little bit like nerve-wracking to be in like that size of a crowd. Also, I was trying to focus on like reminding myself like this is probably going to be like one of the hardest miles you're gonna do, simply because you have to get the pacing right. Like I don't want to go too fast and just like wear myself out for mile 2 and 3. Plus there's also 2 hills within this first mile that I didn't want to be like exhausted going into. Almost done with the first mile. Going into mile 2, I felt pretty good, but I knew it was actually probably going to be even harder than mile 1, less with the pacing issue, but more because this has 2 of the steepest hills in the whole course. But I also knew going into this that those 2 hills I'd be able to run down and hopefully make up a little time that I had lost walking up them. The worst part of this whole mile was that they gave us water and we already had our own water, but I figured let me just take this, maybe I can like pour it on myself or something. And when I went to take a drink of it, I breathed in at the same time and essentially choked on the water and then like threw it back up all over myself, which was fun. For the final mile, I felt pretty confident going into it because I knew it was primarily like flat and there was actually some little bits of like going downhill. So I just locked in and just kind of pushed myself through it because I was conserving my legs exactly for this mile because I knew I could go faster on it. And I do think I ended up feeling the best in this mile out of all. Like I was just like listening to my music, vibing, like having like a really good time. The worst part of this whole mile is that in order to cross the finish line, you have to go up this incredibly steep hill. And I just remember being at like the base of the hill and you could like see the top, the finish line, and there's all these people up there cheering for you, and I just felt like all this anxiety coming in. Like all the people watching me, like it freaked me out a little bit, and they're like, come on, you can do this, you got this, don't quit now. And I'm like, quit now? Do you not see the hill I'm climbing up? Like this hill is so steep, like you get down here and run up this hill and then tell somebody don't quit. I'm not quitting, I'm just exhausted. And I literally, my legs, when I got to the top of the hill, like when it leveled out and I was going to run to cross the finish line, they just were like, whoa, they wanted to give out so bad. That's how bad that hill was. Sadly, the only thing worse than climbing up that steep hill was when we went to cross through the blow up arch and it collapsed on us. So when I crossed the finish line, I knew what my phone said as my time. There was no like sign anywhere saying what your time was or anything. And when we got home, they put the results up and I was like, okay, let's see what the official time is. Like I'm excited. Like this was like my goal was to have like a really good official time. And we look at our names, my mom and I, and it's blank. Like we never ran the race. So I figured, let me just contact the organizers of the event. Maybe something happened. I don't know. And I'm just like, me and my mom ran the race. There's no times there. Like, do you guys know what happened? Like, I know when we crossed, the balloon arch did fall. And they were like, yeah, that's actually when our generator gave out and we didn't track any scores for that whole time. Huh? So obviously I don't have an official time, but we're gonna have to go with what my phone said, and that was 41 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah, I know. Absolutely crazy, mind-blowing, and we did it with like negative splits too. So to me, this just means if you were ever contemplating doing the Galloway method, you weren't sure, will it work? Does it actually work? I'm here to 100% endorse it. I'll probably stick and do this for any other training that I plan on doing just because it clearly does work. And if you don't want to take my results, my mom, who has not done really any running, I think we counted, she maybe was able to complete like 14 runs out of this whole training thing with her knee, did it at the same exact time. So I mean, you don't want to trust mine, trust hers. I also think we got really lucky with the conditions for the race. Obviously, it was raining, but it stopped raining enough that the ground was able to dry so it wasn't like very slippery and it wasn't humid rain. So honestly, I don't think I could have asked for better weather for a summer race. Honestly, though, looking back at this race, I don't know what I would say I would change, like actually on race day. The only thing I could think is maybe starting closer to the starting line. Outside of the actual race, I would probably say getting better sleep. Now, I did go to bed early that I should have gotten well over 8 hours. I just ended up spending the whole night like tossing and turning, so it became like 5 to 6 hours of sleep, which is not bad, but it's no 8 hours. Now, if we didn't PR, I probably would be sitting here being like, oh, we probably could have stuck to the training plan a little bit better. And I'm not gonna even lie, sometimes I do think about that now, like, oh, what could we have done if we actually did the whole 12 weeks like perfectly? But that's just because I'm an overthinker, so I'm just gonna stop thinking about that. Overall, I am really proud of myself and my mom. Even if we didn't PR, I think I would still be really proud of myself because after every time we've done a race, I always just feel so grateful that I'm able to even do them because I know literally any version of me before working out, honestly, actually any version of me before even signing up and training for the first race I've ever done would just be so mind blown. I've said this before, but going from the kid in gym class who would actively like lie to their gym teacher about how many times they went around the track so they didn't have to complete the full mile or just like skip school so they didn't have to do the fitness test to now like running being one of my favorite things I do. It's just so crazy. Thank you to anyone who followed me along this crazy roller coaster of training that we had. I generally cannot believe how fast those 12 weeks came and gone and that we like did the race and that we PR'd the race. Like, just so crazy. But that is all for this week. I do hope you guys enjoyed. And till next week, roll the outro.